The Galactic Council's testing facility hummed with activity as Administrator Vexthal reviewed the latest batch of predator assessments. Species after species had failed the mandatory hunting trials, a requirement for any civilization seeking membership in the greater galactic community. The tests were simple enough. Survive in a controlled environment populated with various prey species and demonstrate sufficient predatory instincts to warrant consideration as apex beings. Next candidate, Vexthal announced, his forearms manipulating the holographic interface with practiced efficiency. The display showed a bipedal species from a small blue planet in the outer rim. Humans, they called themselves. Their application had been amusing. They claimed to be persistence hunters despite lacking obvious predatory features like fangs, claws, or natural weaponry. Dr. Sarah Chen stepped into the testing chamber, her simple clothing and unremarkable appearance drawing skeptical glances from the observation gallery, filled with various alien dignitaries. The chamber itself was a sprawling ecosystem spanning several square kilometers, populated with creatures ranging from small, swift prey to larger, more challenging targets. Begin predator assessment, the automated system announced. What happened next would be discussed in xenobiology circles for generations. Sarah didn't chase anything. Instead, she began collecting materials: vines, stones, fallen branches. The observers watched in confusion as she fashioned what appeared to be a simple snare near a well-worn animal trail. Then another, and another. "What is she doing?" whispered Ambassador Krexlos from the Feline Imperium. "This is not hunting behavior." Vexthal leaned forward, intrigued despite himself. In his centuries of administering these tests, he had never seen anything like this. Within the first hour, Sarah had constructed a dozen different contraptions throughout the testing ground. Deadfalls positioned near fruit trees, pitfall traps disguised with branches and leaves, spring snares along water sources. Each trap was placed with careful consideration of animal behavior patterns she had observed during her initial reconnaissance. The first capture came 47 minutes into the test. A rabbit-like creature, drawn by the scent of berries Sarah had strategically triggered a simple snare. It was caught cleanly, efficiently without any chase or struggle. "Remarkable," muttered Dr. Yelpai, the Council's chief xenobiologist. "She's using the environment itself as a weapon." But Sarah was just getting started. As word of her success spread through the galactic community's communication networks, something unprecedented happened. Other species began contacting the Council, not to take the predator test but to inquire about acquiring these trap technologies. The Merchant Guild of Centauri Prime was the first to reach out. Their representative, a crystalline being named Shardun, materialized via hologram in the observation chamber. "We understand this human has developed novel capture methodologies," Shardun chimed, his crystalline form reflecting the chamber's lights. "We wish to negotiate licensing agreements for our hunting reserves." Before Vexthal could respond, another communication request came through, then another. Within hours, Sarah's testing session had turned into an impromptu business showcase, with dozens of species clamoring to understand and purchase her trap designs. Sarah, still in the testing chamber and unaware of the commotion she was causing, had meanwhile expanded her operations. She had identified that different prey species responded to different stimuli and had begun crafting specialized traps for each type. Box traps for the curious creatures, water-triggered snares for the amphibious ones, and elevated platforms that collapsed for the tree-dwelling species. "I believe," Vexthal announced to the stunned observation gallery, "we may need to revise our testing protocols." By the end of the standard testing period, Sarah had captured representatives of every prey species in the chamber without once engaging in direct pursuit. Her traps had done all the work while she observed, improved her designs, and even began teaching some of the chamber's maintenance drones how to construct basic snares. The real surprise came when Sarah addressed the observation gallery directly, having noticed the multiple alien dignitaries present. "I couldn't help but notice you folks seem interested in these techniques," she said, gesturing to her various contraptions. I'm actually planning to start a business once I get back home. Chen's Universal Trapping Solutions, custom designs for any environment, any prey species, any skill level. We even offer training programs. The silence that followed was deafening. Ambassador Krexlos was the first to break it. You would sell these techniques to other species? Sarah shrugged. Sure. Knowledge should be shared, right? Plus, I've got student loans to pay off. What followed was the most unusual conclusion to a predator assessment in council history. Instead of simply passing or failing, Sarah found herself at the center of a bidding war between different galactic civilizations, all eager to acquire her trapping methodologies. The warrior clans of Xerion wanted military applications. The agricultural collective sought pest control solutions. Even the peaceful meditation masters of Epsilon Eridani were interested in humane capture methods for relocating wildlife from their sacred groves. Within a week, Sarah had not only passed her predator assessment, but had also established the first human-owned interstellar corporation. Chen's Universal Trapping Solutions quickly became one of the most sought-after consulting firms in the galaxy, with contracts spanning dozens of worlds. Vexthal, reflecting on the incident months later, realized that humans had demonstrated something far more dangerous than simple predatory instincts. They had shown the ability to weaponize intelligence, to turn the environment itself into an extension of their hunting capabilities, and perhaps most remarkably to monetize their predatory success. The Galactic Council quietly updated their assessment criteria. The new protocols included a warning label that would become legendary among xenobiologists. Exercise extreme caution when evaluating species capable of commercializing their survival strategies. Sarah's business card, which she had somehow managed to distribute to every observer present, became a collector's item. It read simply, Chen's Universal Trapping Solutions. We'll catch anything, anywhere, anytime. Satisfaction guaranteed or your credits back. The human predator test had ended. The human business empire had just begun.